Welcome to my Hebrew channel, Mila Braika, and today I'm looking at a short phrase out of Proverbs. It establishes a universal principle. It's a principle we've kind of looked at a little bit in other passages, but here it's stated very clearly, very briefly, and very concisely. And it's a question of what happens when someone returns evil for good. Okay, Mishev Ra Tachat Tovah. And these things look like adjectives. They're working actually as nouns here, evilness or goodness. And so Mishev, one who is returning, bringing back, turning back, Ra, evil. Tachat is underneath or in place of. We see it quite often at the end of genealogies of kings, and then his son ruled Tachat, the other king. So in place of, so Tachat, underneath. So in place of, Tova, of goodness. Okay, what happens when somebody returns evil for good? They've been well treated and they respond with something evil, something bad. So it's a principle that applies to everybody, rich, poor, whoever in this world, living in this world, lives under this principle. And it comes from Proverbs 17, verse 13, Meshiv Ra Tachat Tova. And this is those returning evil, place of, under, good. Lo tamutz. Now we have a ketiv kare here. This is the ketiv with no circle. It tells us this is the written part of the text. You're not going to change it. You're not supposed to change it. You're not supposed to alter it. You're supposed to leave the hidik yod, or the yod, in place. But the kare, the alternate reading, wants a reflexive here and puts a vav in place of the yod. That's the change right here. Everything else is the same. A talmem sin, and simply with a vav, tamutz. Okay, so this then it goes from active to passive or condition of something. Okay, lo tamutz, not depart, will not depart from. Ra, so this evil does not depart from mebaito, from his house, and the house is more than just simply a building, a construction made of stone or wood or clay or adobe, whatever you want. No, this is the household. This is the family. This is the dynasty. This carries on from generation to generation. So the evil, somebody carrying out evil and staying in evil, returning evil for good, will have that evil fly back in his face to him and to the succeeding generations. There have been studies made of what happens when families are involved in evil. It tends to communicate on to the descendants. So that's what happens. Ra and Ra. So Ra appears two times here. Tova only appears once, which is kind of sad. I think for every two appearances of evil, you have just one appearance of good. So Mishev Ra Tachat Tova. Lo tamutz. Okay, tamutz, you're going to have a holum here. Will not depart, tamutz, ra, evil, mebaito, from that household, from that place, from that family, from that dynasty. So from his bait, more than just simply a physical house. This is actually the family of that person. That person's evilness will impact and hurt his entire family as well. So New Testament defines it, and often I find kind of interesting in that in the Old Testament you'll see a principle expressed in a negative sense, but in the New Testament generally the focus swings towards the positive, and that's why I like to include New Testament teaching on this matter as well. So from Romans 12:14, bless those who persecute you, bless and do not curse, rejoice with those who rejoice, weep with those who weep. Be in agreement with one another. Do not be proud. Instead, associate with the humble. Do not be wise in your own estimation. Do not repay anyone evil for evil. Ra ra. Okay. Try to do what is honorable in everyone's sight. In other words, repay evil with good, and then try to do what's honorable in everyone's sight, which is good for everybody involved. For you, the other person, the person you might not be getting along with very well. But here, the petition from the Apostle Paul to Romans 12 is get along with this person. Make some effort to getting along with this person. Work on it. Be in agreement, even though you might have very very different opinions and very different political stance and a very different economic stance or whatever it is, make an effort to get along with that person and do what's honorable and do what's the Lord's will for him and for yourself and for everybody else and everybody involved. Seek peace where you can find it, and most certainly be share the love of Christ with others so that they can also live a life of peace and humbleness and faithfulness to Christ. God bless, and until the next time.